We should be live. Audio looks good, hopefully. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Thursday Night Mothership. I'm Pixie Phoenix. I'm a full-time variety streamer here on Twitch. And I'm joined tonight by Nox, our storyteller, and we're waiting for our Martha. I see XP Rich is already in the chat. How's it going? Long time no see, right? A whole 2 hours. Yeah, I'm being attacked by a cuddly kitty right now. I say attacked, but she really... And her tongue is sticking out at me. That's so hilarious. When cats look up and they're like this. So what have you been up to since Monday, sir? Other than this, plotting and scheming of your new game.
That's pretty much it. That looking for work and trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for this game coming up here. We are still looking for players. We're still trying to decide what we're doing. So if you are interested in playing with us, having a say in what we're playing, we are definitely interested in speaking with you.
Yeah, to expand on that, as most of you know, over in, I keep forgetting this is not mirrored, over in this corner, you'll see that I am a participant with Extra Life. It's gaming for good. We raise money for Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. And next month is Tabletop Appreciation Weekend. And I thought, what better to do than to plan an extended one-shot to do on that Saturday, which is the 20th. And we're lining up new participants, and we've narrowed down the game choices to Hunter and Wild Sea. And if Nox wants to maybe give a quick little synopsis of each.
So Hunter: The Reckoning, we will be using the 5th edition version of it, which just released. It is I guess you could say, the brother or sister text to Vampire the Masquerade's 5th edition. It is exactly like it is for the previous edition. It is less focused on the monsters. Most of the other World of Darkness properties, vampire, werewolf, mummy, mage, they're focused on becoming the monster. Hunter is actually the most human of them and focused on how humans deal with the monsters in their midst. So it is, it's a very different take on it. It is a very different type of personal horror, as it were. The Wild Sea is the best way that I could possibly put it. It's pirates on basically a world where the forestry has taken over, where the green, as it's called, or the verdant, has become so emergent that it has taken over all land mass and even the oceans. And now the ships are sailed on top of it with giant chainsaws, and it is a setting unlike anything else that I've ever encountered in any sort of media, let alone games. It is an absolutely amazing setting. The people who I was a Kickstarter for it, part of the Kickstarter, so it is super interesting, and would highly recommend checking it out.
What's up, Martha?
Hi guys, but I hate to burst your bubble, but that world was built by Ursula K. Le Guin, and the word for world is forest.
So maybe some
Back in the
inspiration.
60s.
Maybe some inspiration for the game developers.
The whole world is covered in trees, and everything is trees, and our version of people show up to come like harvest it, because wood is one of the most precious things that we've lost on Earth.
Yup.
And that's the problem starts.
So we got narrowed it down to 2 games.
Yes.
Looking for players. And like I said, this is a one-time thing. This is not something we're gonna necessarily repeat and you have to show up on no. This is a one-time thing. Extended stream. We will have plenty of breaks. So yeah, if you are interested, even if you've never roleplayed before, get in touch with me. If you are not on my Discord, please feel free to join. We have a TTRPG chat channel just for the subject. So, how are we doing, guys? Bump, bump. Gotta figure out my character tonight.
Now I'm realizing that I didn't have my PDF open for this particular adventure, and I'm feeling a little naked without it. Oh, there it is.
Hey.
Oopsie.
All right. So, I guess the first question to ask is, before we start our adventure tonight, is who are you taking in? Are you sticking with your characters, or are you changing your characters? As this is the first time you've had that opportunity, coming back to the Bell in a couple sessions now.
Well, it depends on what we ended up finding on the way back per our list, or what others have found while we were gone.
So with regards to your list, you've only found whatever you have found on there that was found in the when you were in the deep.
Oh, so nobody else found anything in the lost and found for us?
No.
Archimedes didn't. Arcady. I'm getting closer.
Hey. No. Yeah, today. I swear to God. I'll get the one. Let's see. Yeah.
So, let's do a little bit of a recap since it's been a week or two.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
When last you were in the deep, the crew was working their way from Silas, the AI that they found in the pseudoflesh farms, who told them about a panic room and a potential exit. Navigating the guts of the deep, they managed to find themselves on the 5th floor, where they found a variety of disconcerting things, including a simulation station where the AI or the previous owners of the station were running simulations of conflicts. They also found a gigantic nuclear warhead that was being watched over by
a ghost,
by Renzo, a ghost in the machine, who asked them to bring her a book. From there, they were able to escape and come back to the Bell. Excuse me. But on their way back, they found that more time had passed than they realized. And Arcady told them that it had not just been a couple days, that they had been gone for a full week. Getting into the Bell and heading straight for the tank to attempt to rest and recuperate and be thankful that they made it back alive. Our crew now has some difficult choices to make about how to proceed. So,
can we also go over the list of items we found?
The last time, hold on, let me see if I can find your list.
It might.
The list that you gave to Arcady was dice, an electric shaver, needle, spring, ink, pen, and rubber bands. I believe that you have found at this point ink, pens. You found the electric shaver.
Mm-hmm.
But you have not found
The needles.
you have not found needles, you have not found dice, you have not found a spring.
Hmm. Mhm.
Would would um would there be needles in medical? Like, would it be possible for whoever's awake to go to medical and get some syringe needles?
So if you mean, so there's not anything like there's not an actual medical station aboard the Bell.
Right, but like first aid or something.
So the closest that you would have would be that you would need to likely tear into, if you've got a first aid kit or something like that on one of your characters, would be to
Mhm.
tear it open if there's any sort of like auto med or anything like that. Is that's all done basically like an EpiPen.
Okay.
So you could do that. However, you're destroying that in the
Mm-hmm.
process,
Okay.
and that's going to be a roll. That is
Is
going
it
to
the
be
same for the stem packs? Are they
No, those are
also
pills.
stim packs would be the exact same application.
so theoretically, if we kept our empty stem packs from the last run,
Yeah, but I
If
don't think we did.
I don't think you did or mentioned that you were going to.
yeah.
So my answer to that would be in the event that you had something that you wanted to try to take apart. That is definitely plausible. It's a roll to do it to see if you can do it without destroying the things that you want. I would also say, however, that taking apart a like a stim pack or an automet or something like that is also likely to yield you a spring, since that's part of what's when you
Mhm.
hit it. That's what triggers going into your. So there's likely
Uh,
two things that you could get out of one of those.
Last question: did we find
Sure.
any rubber bands?
No, you have not found any rubber bands.
Okay.
I'm going now. I'm trying to go back through the notes for the last couple.
Because I know we found some extra stuff that we decided to keep too.
Yeah, it was that back suits and boots and
Now remember, you dumped a lot of that stuff when you picked up the advanced vac suits.
Yeah.
right, that's what I meant.
So you wake up in the tank.
Let's figure out who I am today.
So there is the first start. Who is heading out today?
I think I'm gonna take out mommy.
What does
Change my name.
mommy do?
Teamster.
Just trying to see your bio and stuff. Bio and info. I can't look at it. Look at that.
Go.
Hey, let go.
So my Teamster has points in computers, art, archaeology, theology, mysticism. Yeah.
I think this is my other Teamster. Okay, I have a. What kind of Teamster are you? You are a.
Very artsy Teamster.
Mine?
No, Mama Misery.
Yeah, because I went the route of mysticism.
Grimwise, piloting, zero G. There's not a lot on this one. Huh, weird. Really weird. He's super strong, but you know what? I'm just going to go with, I think, Car. Let me see, what do I have that you don't have? Because, like, if you're a Teamster, I think he's a Marine or a Teamster. Let's see.
Car's a Teamster.
Yeah, but, like, different kind, I think. Because you have.
Yeah, looks like a lot of
Like mechanical, I think this one is.
yeah, a lot of mechanical on that one.
Heavy machinery, scavenging, zero G, first aid, and linguistics.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Car today.
So you wake up in the tank. Where is your first stop off, so to speak? There is no the tank is, when you wake up, is dark. There's not even any floating candles that you see in here. It is pitch black.
Thinking I have a flashlight.
So where are you headed?
Car is focusing on trying to get the rest of his list. So lost and found for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking we'd head that way, and then possibly, it's been a while since we've been through the chapel and the garden. It might be
Yeah.
worth it to check through there.
Likewise, I'm on the same boat. Yep.
So when you float through the tank, there is a very weird feeling as you grip to the side of the tank, heading for what you know is eventually going to lead you to Arcady's bunk. In the pitch dark, as you move away from your tiny encampment at the very foot of the tank, it feels a little bit like floating away from safety, floating away from the familiar.
Can I flip on my thermal goggles?
You certainly could. There would not be a whole lot for you to see here.
Okay.
The thermal goggles would certainly light up on Car. You need to change your name.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change your character
down
name.
there. Sorry. Thank you.
Would light up on Car. They would also light up on the rest of your crew members.
Okay.
The tank, but the tank itself is reasonably cold. There is not a whole lot here that would come up on your thermals.
I think that was my sense the unseen instinct kicking in, like.
When you get to the hatch leading down the narrow chute to Arcady's bunk, it is dark in here as well, though not quite as dark. There are a few candles that are floating here in the darkness, but Arcady's bunk is as austere and well kept as ever. Passing through, as you float through the main fuel line, the pungency of the old fuel seems a little stronger tonight than it has in the past. But when you get to the Acheron, It is unlike anything you have seen here before. Normally, even in its brightest moments, the Acheron is dimly lit with candles floating through, providing just the barest hints of light.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, instead, it is, well, certainly not well lit, significantly more lit than it has ever been. There are candles everywhere.
He stole our
Floating.
candles.
And Noriko is
Mm.
walking through, holding her bells, and doing, as you witnessed once before, one of her prayer walks. The candles have been arranged, although that is certainly being generous,
Yeah.
using the barest amounts that could possibly be said of duct tape to basically fasten them to the floor in kind of haphazard fashion, leading from the main gate of the nozzle chamber or thrust chamber nozzle to the umbilical and the climb down to the chapel. So, what do you do?
Which way you want to go first? Lost and Found or Chapel?
You're muted.
Lost and Found.
So when you go to the Lost and Found, it's locked up. There is no way to get into the Lost and Found. It is under lock and key. Now you could break in if you needed to, but
Just down to the chapel.
so as you backtrack away from that and you head in the direction of the chapel, Noriko gives you a wide smile and a deep bow as you head on in. When you head to the chapel, it is the exact same situation as is in the Acheron. There are candles lining the floor in a rather haphazard trail, going to that multi-armed crucifix. Looking up at the giant skeletal whale, there are no candles up there. There's nothing to illuminate it. All of the illumination is coming from the trail. So when you look up, even knowing what it is this giant ghostly structure that is just extending along the entirety of the chapel, and it is a little unnerving, to say the least.
You say it's like a structure?
Now, if you'll remember, there was the skeleton of a whale
Right.
that was hanging from the ceiling.
That's what you're referring to? Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I just thought we were talking about something else. What's her name doing, Noriko?
She's not there yet. She is still in the Acheron doing her prayer walk.
Okay. Has anything changed?
Other than the candles, no. Where normally the candles are kind of haphazardly just floating through space. Tonight they are not.
Is there anybody else in the chapel?
No.
Is there any sight of Arcady? Anybody else?
You have not. You haven't actually seen Arcady yet.
Yeah, Arcades.
There's normally he hangs out and can be found in either the Acheron or the Lost and Found. The fact that he's in neither indicates that he is either
On a
well
run.
the obvious answer is he's either in the garden, as it's the only place you haven't been yet,
Mm-hmm.
or he is not currently aboard the ship and is shuttling somebody around.
I say we go towards the garden.
So when you head into the garden, um, this is one of the few places, again, that is in good condition. All of the hydroponics are working. It is a functional, actual working garden here,
Mm-hmm.
albeit a little weird with all of the little effigies that are on the ground.
Everywhere.
There
There.
are a few things that you notice immediately. One, there seem to be more effigies
Mm-hmm.
than there were previously.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that it is almost as if it is in a state of fall. The leaves are starting to come off of the trees. The some of the bushes are withering a little bit, which may or may not be to be expected. You don't know exactly what the cycling patterns here are for this particular garden,
Or how they've been scheduled.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else to see here, guess we could
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen anything green. I wouldn't mind taking a wander around the garden to check out the plants, see if I see anything specific that jumps out at me.
It's not so much that there's anything specific that jumps out at you, so much as the fact that unlike literally everything else here, this garden is well maintained. The equipment here doesn't appear to be piecemeal. It doesn't appear to be kind of jerry-rigged together. It is as functional as you would have expected to see in any sort of general hydroponics and growth laboratory on any sort of spaceship. That was built for long-term growing.
Got it. Cool.
I think I would end up just backing up into the chapel and waiting for Noriko.
She appears reasonably shortly with her bells and her long robe. It is probably best for everybody that these are LED candles and not actual candles, as she is not being in the least careful about draping her robe over them.
Guess I'd ask her, how have you been?
She, as you walk up, she halts her bell and she goes, "Greetings, it is good that you are back."
Anything exciting happen in our absence?
She smiles and she says, "Other than your absence and now your return, not particularly. We've had a number of divers who have made very brief stops and have not come back recently. So
who has failed to come back?
There were many." She says, "However, it is extremely fortuitous that though we had lost hope for you, that you have come back. We did not expect to see your crew, the members of your crew, come back."
Yeah, I mean, I was close to writing them off. I mean, but hey, miracles happen.
What do you mean? Our band of pirates is one of the best.
Well, we thought our pilot was the best too, and look at where that landed us.
Noriko says, "Did your crew members find anything of note?"
It seems so.
There was mention of the Minotaur.
When you say that, her eyes widen and glisten like diamonds. She's like, they have seen it.
That's what
You
it
could
sounds
even
like.
chat with it. Yeah.
She chitters almost like a chipmunk and claps her hands and is like, what did it tell them? How can we honor it?
They'll tell you. Everybody's trying to figure everything out and then present it coherently. Apparently they did an all-star walk. Managed to hit all the high points over there.
Well, they were gone a week. I imagine they'd have to do something.
She very animatedly is like getting into your personal space, meaning like, are they making a plan to bring it back? Is the Minotaur coming?
Whoa, 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 whoa. The only plan right now is for them to get some rest after being on site for a week. So, saw some shit, been through some shit. They're healing and resting right now, and that's what we're all going to let them do if anybody wants to hear what they have to say.
That brings the temperature down for her quite a bit. She seems a lot more sad, but she is still, her eyes are glistening even in the dark here. She is beyond interested in what they have to say. So, what is your next? You say have anything else to talk to her about, or are you?
Do you know where Arcady is?
She nods and says, "Oh yes, he is on his way back. He took a shuttle of divers to the deep."
Wonderful. Is it all right if we wait for him at the Acheron?
She nods and goes back to her prayer walk. The timbre of the bells and the melody is different now. It is
Less solemn.
less solemn, but also much faster tempo. In contrast, it is also slightly out of key, which is to say, or not key, but out of tempo, which is to say that it is an almost dissonant sound. When you return to the Acheron, you can hear Arcady coming up the umbilical. And when he climbs out, he is in a half unzipped vac suit. He sees you and gives a big smile. Ah, if it is not our homecoming Euros.
Our friends took forever over there and figured we'd let them have the week, some time off after their week away.
Perhaps a wise choice, as I do not think that they are, how shall we say? What is the phrase? Stare not long into the abyss, lest it stare into you.
Mm-hmm.
I worry that your friends have stared too long.
We'll see you when they
We're going to
recover.
find out.
Yeah.
We're going to find that out. Listen, my friend, is there any way that we could take some of your time and go look at the lost and found?
He says, yes, he gets the key and unlocks it. As he walks in there, he goes, I have not found the things that you are looking for. I do not think that we have those things.
It's all right. Just Gonna take a look around, see what can be put to use.
There are less personal effects here.
Mhm.
There's more guns,
Oh, cool.
more armaments. Uh, it is slowly becoming less of a storage unit for previous divers and
Mm-hmm.
becoming more of a functional gun store.
Lovely.
He gestures around and he says, "Is there something you are looking for in particular? Is there some sort of weapon you need?"
Not necessarily weapons. I was wondering if you had things outside of weaponry.
He says, "Unfortunately, we do not tend to keep these types of things. Things that are not guns don't usually go here. They go to use elsewhere,
Elsewhere where?
in keeping this bell together."
You wouldn't
Is
happen to have like a little section of non-gun items I could check out.
He says, "Is there nothing like what is on your list?" He says, "We don't really have a lot of use for rubber bands uh, or springs." He said, "The last time that I saw a spring, I repurposed it for wiring."
So would we be able to reverse engineer a piece of wiring?
He thinks about it for a second. He says, "I do not know if you could get the tension right." He goes, "Maybe. I imagine a decent engineer who worked at it could probably get a semi-functional spring out of a piece of wiring, but he says, I do not know how much I would trust it."
Do you have any wayward children toys or music boxes that you've seen lately?
He thinks about it for a second. He goes, "I do not remember the last time that I saw a child's toy other than the one that one of your crew members brought to me." He says, uh, he says, "And I do, I the only music box that we have is Noriko."
Yeah, I don't think.
He says, "And we all know how that damn tune goes. The goddamn Minotaur over and over again."
Well, apparently we had a run-in with the Minotaur.
He says, is it the horrible monster that we have all heard about, or is it actually the savior of humanity that Noriko seems to think it is?
As far as we've been able to tell so far, it could be a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm. As with most entities, it is neither directly good or bad.
He says, "Well, don't let Noriko hear you say that." He says, "That is the Minotaur is as close to God as she thinks there is."
What is she? I can't remember. What did she think of Monarch? Did she have thoughts on Monarch and I'm forgetting?
I don't know that you have ever asked Noriko directly about Monarch.
No, well then I'm gonna say, well, then she's going to be very upset when she meets its maker.
Mm.
Apparently, the team met all the characters on the bell. No, on the ship during that week.
Arcady nods and says, "I dearly hope that the news that your crew brings back is better than the news we have been receiving from other divers.
What news is that?
We are not sure why. I have been in contact with the blockade. The commander, she is not sure, but they are getting more and more visitors. There are more people who are becoming insistent on coming here, looking for things. They're turning more people away. Apparently, there are plans that are going before some of the local municipalities, if you might say, that they are going to bring more ships for the blockade to deal with more people. We do not know why there are more people. More divers are starting to show up. And he says, the other issue is that the divers are encountering they are encountering hostile situations more often. It was not uncommon in the past for someone who was quiet of step and quick of mind to step into the halls of the facility, purloin a trinket or two, and then leave without having any sort of interaction with anything.
Not so much anymore then.
No, the security androids seem to be on edge, if you could say that of an android. They are in greater force. It is becoming more difficult to avoid them. It is becoming harder to not engage with them, and unfortunately, their numbers are greater.
Believe me, Cupcake had his own run in, that's for sure.
Previously, we had heard of very sparse patrols. Some of them were single androids. Some of them were 3 or 4 androids. Now I have heard reports of entire battalions that are creeping through the hallways looking for something. Something has set Monarch on edge.
A lot of action afoot. Well, there's also an AI called Silas, apparently.
I have heard of this Silas. It is apparently quite chatty.
Apparently. And wise to listen to its instructions, apparently.
I would be very, very careful about listening to anything the children of Monarch have to say. The Silas is simply a subroutine within the Monarch system.
Granted, but if the subroutine tells you to put on a decontamination suit, just put on a decontamination suit.
So you knew about this, Silas, and you didn't think to bring it up to us.
He says, "I did not think that you would be making it to this creature."
Wait, was Mammy with us? No. So we're talking about the other team. Yeah, we gotta talk about it like it's the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm saying the universal us, like our group, like our guys, our people.
I mean, it seems like he's not bringing it up to anybody.
He gives a kind of sad shrug and he says, "I have found that the more information I give the divers, the more expectations that I give them, the more danger they put themselves in as they look for things. They look to attempt to match my words to their views. Does that make sense? He says, and
It does.
in the process of doing so, they miss things. They end up having to. They are too busy searching for the forest. They do not see the trees.
Hmm. There's also a phenomenon that happens on the ship called ghosts, apparently.
He says, I have heard of this. That is, in fact, there is a reason that the diver who you have met, the Ghost Eater, is called that. He has devised a way, apparently, to consume them. To
The ghost eater is the silent guy.
he is currently on the dive. Actually, you may encounter him if you were to go and look for him. However, he is often found in the chapel. I will not say that he is a devotee of the Minotaur, but he seems to take some amount of solace being there.
I'd be interested to having a conversation about how he's able to eat ghosts.
I do not know if he would be interested in giving you that information. However, I have seen him pay people for these ghosts.
Interesting. I think I would look forward to a chat with this diver.
This as well. As I said, he is currently on the dive, but perhaps if you come when you come back, he will be here.
Here's hoping.
Unless we want to go find him ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, like at some point we're gonna have to go on, I guess.
So, what else did you find on your cruise week excursion? He says you came back with your lives, which is prize enough, but
Unfortunately, we've only gotten snippets of the story so far. We're waiting for them to rest so we can hear the rest of it.
Mostly, from what I noticed, they've just brought back more gear.
Mm-hmm.
that is perhaps wise. Scavenging for the things that they cannot find here, and he said, of course, this is as I have said, and he gestures around. He says, with the number of divers who are no longer coming back, he says, we are becoming better stocked here. So perhaps I can help you if you need ammunition or a gun.
I mean, how much do they go for nowadays? Last time I checked, prices were pretty steep.
He says, well, in this economy, prices have not come down very much. He says, however, I'm sure your friends have found something to worth bartering with. Have they not?
They have not told us yet, and we do not have ownership of it. Team A is resting, my friend. Team B is here to check it out.
Now I'm just trying to figure out what it is we had.
I totally forgot everything we've collected. Zach has the list. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that he's asleep. We don't know. We are in the dark as you are. We got bulletproof points.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that I took other than gear. Like, literally just...
I know.
I don't see it listed, but there's ammunition.
I'm trying to sit there and trying to find the... Oh, well, there is, in fact, that the one... if nothing else, there's the... you have found a couple different artifacts. But there's definitely the one artifact that you guys found in the furnace that you were supposed to give to a diver for Monarch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not going to say anything about that yet.
Well, we haven't come across that diver yet either, right?
That is correct.
Maybe that's our hookup over there.
Also, I don't think we would have exchanged that stuff yet. Like, probably like leave it with whoever found it, right?
I mean,
Except for like the radio and maybe the gear. Like, we would probably borrow like the suits that are more functional and better protected.
I would say that is entirely up to you.
What do you say, Pix? Mammy. Because that way, like, it would be a quicker one shot, and so we'd have more space for Zach to like catch up with us without like.
Yeah, I think playing it a little dumb would keep tonight more focused.
Okay. In that
Yeah.
case, Arcady says, so then, what are we doing this evening? Are you heading back into the deep and attempting to pick up where your friends left off, or are you attempting to...
Well, quick meta question. I've got an SMG, but there's no ammo listed. So do I assume that I have a clip
Yeah, I think when you
in
found it,
there?
I don't know. That's up to Knox.
I would say that you probably have a clip. Now, you also know as a group where you could probably find some ammo for it, which would be in the cafeteria, or
Yeah.
rather the kitchen.
Mm.
Well, with this influx of munitions, have your prices on magazines come down?
He says, well, what are you looking for a magazine for?
SMG.
He starts to shuffle over between some different boxes, and when he climbs down using handholds and opens a sealed cage, he reaches in and pulls out a pair of clips. He says, for you, he says, I will do a buy one, get one free sale.
What's the damage?
Where is my pricing? That is not my pricing. He says 500.
Yeah, my budget is still too tight for that, my friend. But I will keep it in mind.
He says, perhaps there is something you could sell.
Not on my person. But maybe we'll find something on our trip over there.
He says, so.
Anything in particular you would like me to look for?
He thinks about it for a second, and then he says, well, this is frankly one of the more difficult things about keeping the bell running is keeping all of the small things working, the doors, the systems. He goes, we are always burning out the logic cores. He says, if you could find logic cores, he says, I will pay you a handsome sum for them.
Is this something my character would know what the hell that is, or would I need him to show me?
Logic cores are generally speaking the brains of androids.
Okay. I had a hunch. I had a hunch. There's an android part. Okay.
He says, so. He says, is there anything else that I can do for you? Is there... He says, he says, what else did you come across when your crew was over there? Is there...
Trying to go up to
Honestly,
the chat. Laser cutter, crowbar, hand welder, foam gun, 6 mag boots, 6 vac suits, and stim packs.
He says, and where are we headed this evening? Am I taking you back to where I found your crew members, or are we returning to the entrance?
I think the entrance. I have some interest in hitting up the kitchen.
likewise. I think we're going for a quick look about on level 1 right now, see how much everything's changed.
He says, all right.
Um,
He says, I will meet you at the end of the umbilical cord. He says, if there's anything else that you need to take care of, he says, then meet me. He says, then take care of it. And he says, then meet me there.
he keeps alluding to something we brought back. Now I'm paranoid.
He shuffles you out of the lost and found,
We
locks
had
it
that
up.
pack with us too, like the guy's pack. From the gears. What was in that?
Is it like toys or games or something?
No, you found that in the panic room.
Yeah, that was in the panic room, along with the pamphlets that.
Okay, but still, we brought those back.
Right, and I think a revolver we picked up.
Still trying to remember what was in that pack.
I believe it was a revolver and an electronic toolkit.
Okay, yeah. Which we split up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, until we
and
make
then from the previous playthrough, we also had the vac suit gel.
Mm-hmm.
What was on our list, and then there were some other things that we found along the side of them that we collected as well that I'm forgetting. It was like what was found in the desk next to the stuff, because like with intention we were getting multiple things to not give away what we were looking for.
Now you've also said that you were not going to use those characters' inventories for this, so
right. I'm just not use it, but like
you're just talking about general knowledge of
yeah,
what everyone has. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Okie dokie.
So Arcady has floated off to head to the umbilical. Is there anything else that you guys are going to do before you leave?
I'm gonna go to the chapel. Yes.
What you doing there?
Just seeing who else, if anybody know. Like we would have seen. We were in the Asheron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hand welder. What does it do? Let me think. Do I have like a blade or something on me? What do I have on me? Let's go across wrenches. Hunger. computers, chemistry, short range comm, bioscanner.
I think I'm the one with the weapons on this run.
All right, what do you got?
You also have the harpoon gun.
Yeah. Well, it'll be sharp enough. I guess I'm just gonna like take unload the harpoon gun and take like the point and like pull back my suit and like do like a little scratch in it and show Mammy.
Mommy.
Mommy.
Hold on. Because I want to make very clear that I'm understanding what you're saying. So you're using the point of your harpoon gun to put a hole in your vac suit.
No, not a hole in my vac suit. I'm using the point of my harpoon gun where I can put something like visible, like a scratch or something that's brand spanking new.
Oh, so you're scratching yourself with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like marking myself so mommy can tell me from anybody else, since Car has already been there before.
Okay.
And had to deal with the fake cupcake.
Where do you do this?
What is visible in a vac suit?
Vac suits are full cover.
Just like up to here?
I mean, including with the glass and everything. Like a vac suit will cover your entire body. It's designed to be used in space.
Yeah.
I assume that I would have something like a bandana or rag.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I'd probably roll up my bandana and tie it bandana and tie it around my wrist. Because I figure if we run into anybody, you're gonna see that they wouldn't have something like that. So,
what color is the bandana?
Red. But danger.
Not because you're a crip. Not because you're a crip, right?
Do we want to get literal with that one?
No. So
let me refer you to an episode of South Park, my friend.
So
do I have any of the so like we don't have anything else from blah 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 blah. Never mind. Yeah, I guess I don't know if I have a bandana or any like piece of fabric or anything to do something similar.
I would say so. There is something that you do definitely have would be your trinket.
Do I have any way of
what is your trinket?
It to myself? It is a pamphlet interpreting sheep dreams. So I'm gonna like show you this.
Pocket.
I'm gonna show you this, and then I'm gonna like put it away.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, my trinket is a necklace of shell casings, but that would be under my suit. So let's go.
So you guys head down the umbilical. Arcady's already got the door open at the end, and as you guys climb in, he seals it up. He looks at you. His eyes immediately gravitate to the bandana, and he gives a very short nod. The flight to the deep is quiet.
He's not though.
As you reach the visitor's dock, and he sits down, there is an odd feeling of anxiousness. As he opens the door and lets you out, he gestures to his radio. He says, I hope that you are not going to be here another week.
That makes two of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to be here for a couple hours.
He says, well, he says, then you know the rules. He says, I will have the radio. You contact me when you can. He says, just make sure that I have enough time to come pick you up in case things are getting hairy.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again for the ride.
He boards and flies the little shuttle away, leaving you alone in the visitor's dock. So, from here, what do you do? Where do you head?
This is the point where I need my old lady glasses.
Probably to reception, slowly. To the hall, to the entranceway of reception.
Yeah.
So, when you creep down the hallway to reception, the android is still hanging from the ceiling, still with the same mutilations that Dr. Singer did. The room is still. There's no music, there's no chimes, it is almost like a tomb. So, from here, where do you go?
I'm gonna go up to the android, see if its thing is in it.
No, the logic core has been
Ripped out.
No, destroyed.
Okay.
The back of the head is not in particularly great condition.
Behind the reception desk, I'm gonna rifle through the shit, see if there's anything that the other team missed.
So with the logic core, just so I can get a better visualization, are we talking about like Westworld kind of thing where like there's like in Westworld it's an orb, but is that kind of what we're talking about here? It controls all the processes. If it's removed or destroyed, then that's it.
Yeah, it's basically if this was a computer, it would be the CPU.
Okay. I just didn't know if there was a better description for the object itself.
It looks like a little box, basically.
Box. Okay.
I guess the best way to think about it would be, you know how RAM looks?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like RAM.
Find anything over there, Doc?
So no,
you're doctor today. You're playing your Marine. Okay.
The desk is riddled with bullet holes. Anything that would have been in there, if it hasn't been looted, has been destroyed by the munitions that have passed through it. This is a desk in barely name only. Yeah, it's not. This is not functional for anybody, other than maybe the corpse that's hanging above it.
I look at like where the doc took some samples and like where it cut down. Do I see any like interest in machinery or anything?
So I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I look to like where the doc had opened up the guy's arm. I'm wondering if I got any interesting machinery or anything that I could see any parts.
Springs.
The only thing that you really notice is that the internal bit of the skeleton is some sort of like filigree. that is steel. So what you can basically see is that there is some amount of ability for, even in the event that there was, say, a bone marrow test, that the needle would still go into an actual organic substance. Yeah, and be able to come out with something to be able to pass the test if it wasn't being directly looked for.
I make sure my body camera gets like a really good catch of that as I mess around with it.
So, where do you go from there?
Kitchen and cafeteria.
Onto
It's clear.
Yeah, meeting room A.
So you guys are heading to meeting room A.
Yes, sir.
When you get to meeting room A, the executive meeting table that was previously flipped over with the giant words "fuck off" on it has been cracked in half. The message is still just as clear as it ever was. But if it had been previously useful for cover in some way, shape, or form, it's significantly less useful now. The backpack that you guys previously had found is still in there, with the dud rounds that were in there. But other than that, this room looks mostly the same as when you saw it originally.
Okay. Yeah, if there's nothing more to inspect, pop into meeting room B.
As you are heading out into meeting room B, you hear clicking coming from in reception.
Yeah, back into the room. Into room
B.
Well, have we made it to B yet, or did it it froze? Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay.
We just figured you were doing it for effect. You were like, nope, I'm out. Later. Don't want no part of this.
So we were coming out of room A going toward B when we heard this?
Yes.
So I'd probably back into room A and kind of take cover inside the room and see if they pass us on their cycle.
So you don't actually, you continue to hear the clicking sound. It seems to fade away as if it's going away from you, and it doesn't ever pass.
So it was almost like
they went toward the lift
behind us. Yeah, like were they going towards the lift? Was the sound coming from the lift or coming from the cafeteria?
The sound was coming from reception.
Reception. Okay. So it looks like we had just passed them as we ducked into meeting room A.
Yeah, if it seems like the sound is like kind of backed off, then we'll sneak into room B.
Real quick.
Okay. So when you're in room B, this is the same room as it was before, with the books smashed everywhere, the carpet pulled up from the one-armed android that you encountered. It is more of a mess. The books have definitely been come apart a little bit more. They're less books now and more just papers crumpled and strewn all over.
But he was angry at words. But as far as kind of snooping in the corners and stuff, there's nothing to find.
Yeah, this is other than that. This is exactly as your crew has found it in the past.
Okay. I'd probably approach the door, but take a listen to see if I can hear the androids.
To meeting room B or to what are you?
We're still at meeting room B, but before we go
So we're
out
gonna
into the
try and
hallway, I'm just trying to give a
so we can go to the
listen.
cafeteria.
You don't hear any clicking.
Okay, yeah, we'll sneak into the cafeteria.
So when you get into the cafeteria, the all of the tables where previously they had been laid out kind of like they were cafeteria tables have basically all been, for the most part, either overturned or turned on their side or pushed to the side, leaving the cafeteria as a somewhat open feeling space. There doesn't appear to be any actual damage other than the giant banner has been torn down.
Okay.
What did the banner say?
The banner in the cafeteria previously said, over 50 billion synthetics sold. You made it happen.
Bet they regret that now.
So, where do you go from here?
Make our way toward the kitchen.
Holy shit balls. Sorry, the weather just literally shifted entirely outside of the window. It was like sunny, and now there are lots of things flying around and lots of rain.
So when you get into the kitchen, you notice two things. One, the burners on the kitchen that were previously serviceable are now trashed. Which in and of itself would not be a terrible situation, except that there, as soon as you step into the kitchen, there is the smell of gas.
Fucking wonderful.
The other thing is that the plate with the golden rat is full again.
Of course.
It has It has 3 MREs.
What are those again? Medical
meals ready to eat.
Military rations, yeah.
It has a single cigarette. And 4 clips of ammunition.
And that's it?
Would there be a way to take 2 of the clips of ammunition without touching the plate or anything else on the plate? Like, are they stacked up enough that I could pinch 2 of them off?
You could easily take 2 clips if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll do that, being very careful not to touch anything.
So you pull 2 clips for your SMG. Car, what are you doing here?
I'm grabbing the cigarette.
You're taking the 1 cigarette.
Car smokes.
Fair. Wouldn't do it in the kitchen.
I mean, he's taking it. He's not stupid.
Vic.
So.
How big is the rat?
Probably size of like a football.
I've got my pack with me. Where's my pack? What do I have? I'm going to scan the rat with my Android. What is it? Not Mag Boots. Bioscanner.
It comes up as biologically inert.
Quit it. Like, why do I feel like I had something? Oh, is that the other person?
Yep.
What was the thing that they had? It was like
They had the cybernetic scanner.
I pick it up and tap it to hear if it's hollow.
It is not hollow, and as soon as you pick it up, it is stupidly heavy. Like it is solid. Like it's actually solid gold. You think it is cumbersomely heavy.
Fuck, I put it down. Well, that's real. Move on, I guess, towards the. I actually I go towards the stove, see if there's a shut-off switch for the gas.
There does not appear to be one.
It sucks.
There is also as you get closer to the stove, the smell gets more and more intense.
Yeah, I'm not sticking around to make myself sick with this shit.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yep.
So where do you head?
Head on down. Wait, security checkpoint 2? Is that Bravo?
Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if that's still active or not?
It is still very active.
That's the one that's active. We have to go all the way around.
That's like back up to
Yep.
to like meeting room
Alpha.
Yeah.
So when you get to meeting room Alpha, you can hear the clicking again in the reception. And when you stop and listen, it is not just an individual clicking. It is
many
clicking.
Almost in sync.
Yeah, I guess we duck into room A again and kind of hide out and see if we can figure out their pattern.
When you duck into room A and you kind of sneak in there for a minute, it takes a lot longer this time for the clicking to recede. But it does eventually recede out of hearing range.
Slowly, I would like to take a quick look around the door, see if there's anything behind us.
There is. So when you say you're looking around
toward the cafeteria,
yeah,
you don't see anything coming from back there.
I look, take another look towards the other direction.
There's nothing that seems to be coming from down the hallway that would lead to the second floor lift.
All right, Mommy, let's go.
Yeah, we'll go to reception, try to duck our way through Alpha.
So you're going to head back into reception. Where are you headed again?
Towards checkpoint Alpha.
So when you head to Alpha, the gate is still open as you guys left it. It's the android there is still crushed and useless.
Does he have his brain doohickey?
No, that's long gone.
You gonna be okay?
So once you hit checkpoint Alpha, where are you headed? Are you headed for rec center? Are you headed for storage? The cubicle camp?
Storage.
Yeah, storage first.
So when you head back into storage,
what?
It appears as though it is as trashed as it ever was in here. There's a few more. Some of the boxes aren't exactly where you remember them. You think maybe somebody might have moved them around a little bit. The only thing that's really in there still that is in reasonably good shape is the do-it-yourself retinal scanner that reads access.
At this point, Car's going to see if he can like pull it off the wall.
No, it is lodged. The cabling in there is hard on there.
Ain't nothing to find in the boxes or nothing.
No.
All right, let's move on across the way.
The employee rec center is actually quite different from how you remember it. Most of the lockers have had the doors ripped off, straight off the hinges. The other noticeable thing here is the large splotch of blood in the middle of the room.
Mm.
How fresh does it
Interesting.
look? Like, is it still liquid if I tow it?
It is.
Or is it like congealed and dried?
It's not dried. It's in that in between
The
stage where it
sludge.
is. Yeah, it's not quite still a liquid and not
But it's
quite.
started congealing, getting a little
Mhm.
sticky.
You're kind of glad that there's no flies.
And this is the amount like a pretty bad wound, or is this like somebody's been drained?
Like a whole person.
This looks like somebody has been splattered.
Mm. Interesting. Nothing else.
Hmm.
No
All right,
body, obviously.
let's see if we can go to cubicle camp.
So as you head down the hallway towards the cubicle camp, you can hear clicking from within the cubicle camp.
Mm. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
So what do you want to do?
Probably back up into the rec center. See if we can listen for it to pass.
Yeah.
So when you back up into the rec center to hide, this feels more vulnerable than it did before. Previously, the rec center was lockers and places to look around to kind of sneak into corners and things here. Now, this, with the damage that's been done, this feels a lot less secure, less safe
Mm.
than it has previously. But still, our two crew members attempt to hide. This seems like an excellent moment to take a bio break.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, Twitch chat. We are going to take a quick bio break. So we'll be back in a few. And I will be running a quick ad break. So.
Yeah, ad for monetization. Help the channel.
Da, da, da.
Maybe that's one of the things we find tonight, huh?
We're back. We would have better technology that far in the future. All right, we're back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around through the bio break, and we are back to Mothership. I'm joined tonight by Knox and Martha, and we are going to jump back in it.
So, as you are hiding in the rec center, the clicking noise seems to recede. After a few minutes. So, where do you head from the employee rec center?
Well, this is a place with all the like lockers and locker doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's been like ripped apart, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna like quickly check all the like the back of the locker doors, see if there's like a mirror hanging on one that I can like pry off.
No, there's nothing like that.
All right. Then like, yeah, let's go to cubicle camp if we can.
Very stealthily.
So as you sneak down the hallway and into the cubicle camp, there are 3 people who are sitting around the fire and are warming their hands. When you get closer to look, or I guess I should ask, what do you do when you see the 3 people who are by the fire?
I'm gonna put a palm up and wave and approach Gina Lee.
Cautiously.
So when you get closer, 2 of them have their backs to you, one of them doesn't. When you, the one who sees you wave your hand does a double take. And one second. Trigger looks at you and says, "When the fuck did you guys get here?"
When the fuck did you get here?
So we've been here for days now. The other 2 turn around. It is Dr. Marla and Cupcake.
Carmichael attacks on impulse.
So you're going to attack?
Yeah.
Okay. We will say that you've got, because you're doing this instinctively, that you have basically have surprise on your side. So
Advantage.
So, check surprise. Yes. Do they fear save? All right. 1 second. Trigger. Trigger is stunned for 1 round.
this point, I'm gonna ready my gun, but I'm not. I'm waiting to see what happens.
Marla is stunned for 1 round. Cupcake is not. So now everybody who is not stunned needs to take do a speed check.
Normal?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, so you both take your turns, and then Cupcake gets to go, and then everybody re-rolls on next round. So what is the very first things that you do? Mommy, you actually have the best roll, so you go first. So
I actually have a bioscanner. Would I have the time to quickly scan one of the stunned?
Or you could also just point the gun at him and make him like.
Right, but would that be 2 separate actions to hold the gun on him and try to scan someone else?
I would say that would be so. Here's the thing: you would still need to move to them.
Okay.
Because you guys basically came in the door, and then you waved, and they saw you. So you guys are not like right on top of one another.
Okay.
So you could in theory spend that time crossing the distance and then scan, or you could shoot, but you probably don't have enough time to, or let me rephrase it, you definitely don't have enough time to
I'm gonna put a bullet in Cupcake's leg. Hopefully non-lethal, but yeah, try to at least immobilize him.
So you're going to pull your SMG and fire on Cupcake. Okay. So that is your combat stat. So you have 2 actions. So are you going to draw? So you're basically drawing your holstered weapon and shooting?
Yeah, and then closing in the distance.
Drawing a weapon is 1 action.
Oh, it's an action. Okay. Yeah, then yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you're going to shoot at Cupcake. Okay, so
well, no, she readied her gun after I attacked them.
No, she's going first.
I got the better roll, so it's like you lunged and you stunned them, but you haven't like attacked them. Your action just stunned them, and then we had our kind of initiative roll.
Yeah,
okay.
I just rolled better.
So so it's Mommy, then you, then Cupcake. So you're pulling you're gonna shoot Cupcake in the leg?
Yep.
Okay, so combat.
Advantage?
No, because he's not stunned.
No modifier. No. Damn it.
Your shot goes wide. You simply actually hold on. I still need to roll his. No, your
Yep.
shot just goes wide. So you shoot, your shot goes wide. Car, what are you doing?
I pull out the crowbar and keep attacking.
So you're going to pull out your crowbar and you're going to rush them and start swinging.
Well, no, I've already rushed them.
That was the lunging at.
Okay, so you're
and
okay.
stun them.
So that
So,
would be
okay.
the close in.
I've gotten them and stunned them.
Okay, so you're saying that the action to start. Okay, got it. So so you're going to start attacking with the crowbar. Who are you attacking?
Whoever's the two closest to me.
So you're going after Trigger and Marla?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can basically attack one each. So roll
like a swing and then like a swing.
So yeah, so basically let's say four swing and backswing. So roll your combat skill twice. The first one's going to be for Trigger, the second one's going to be for Marla.
Okay, and no modifier?
Advantage for both.
Ooh, nice. That's right.
Okay, hold on. Cancel. Go back. Thank you. Combat. Advantage, disadvantage. Submit. Cool.
Okay, so you completely miss on Trigger. You do manage, however, to hit Marla. Now hold on. So Trigger rolls armor. Both fail. Okay. It doesn't matter because you missed. And then Dr. Marla rolls armor. So take your. Let me. Roll equal to. You rolled. No, they rolled way better. They rolled way better than you. Okay, so when you take the swing with the crowbar at Marla, you hit her, and it is almost entirely blunted by her vac suit, by the armor that she's wearing. So you basically knock her over, but it doesn't. You haven't actually done any physical damage. You missed your swing completely on Trigger. So Cupcake at this point. He stands up. And pulls his gun.
Would a clone get the same gun?
It's an SMG. Everybody has them.
Everybody's got it here.
He was going to say everybody has an SMG here. Pulls the gun, points it at you, Car, and even as he opens fire, is basically screaming at you, being like, "The fuck are you doing?" So he misses. His shots go wide. Okay, so now we start all over again because the people who are stunned didn't have the opportunity to go. Now Marla has been knocked prone, so she's basically still stunned for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
but we have a Trigger in play.
But now Trigger is in play.
So where are we going with this one, Doc?
So
like I'm following you in a battle. That you
Not
were
Doc.
so, or
Car.
not Doc, sorry, but yeah, just not
I mean,
sure
like,
where you're going with this, but I'm trying to cover your ass.
I mean, I'm sure you, mommy, mommy has uh recognized our like team players and like the fact that they're basically clones and the fact that we just left them on the ship to rest. Like, you don't think you would have seen that it's our players yet? That it's our other teammates that we just
Yeah,
left
but
behind?
I like you did the reactionary lunge, and
Yeah.
so now I'm just at this point trying to cover your ass. I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know if you want to speak up to them since they've addressed us. So I'm saying I'm not speaking up right now. I'm just reading the room.
Okay, and you're not doing anything? Is
N-
anybody swinging at us, or is it our turn to go first?
No, you need to make your speed checks to determine who
Oh,
determine who goes. So both of you need to roll your
that's
speed.
what it is. Sorry.
Okay. So car.
Man, I can't roll for shit in this game.
Not yet.
Mammy
Just wait.
goes.
It'll be time. It'll happen.
Fail. Okay, so here is the kind of the order here. Car goes first, then Trigger, then Mammy, then Cupcake. So, Car, what are you? So you've already lunged or rolled. You're right up in there, in their grill, basically with a crowbar. You miss Trigger, but you managed to knock Dr. Marlowe down. What are you doing now?
What I'd like to do is pull out my laser cutter.
Okay, so you're going to unholster your laser cutter.
And take a slice at Trigger's ankle.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to like sweep down with your laser cutter and go after a limb.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll your combat stat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you miss.
I'm gonna, as I'm doing this, I'm gonna be yelling to mommy to like get them, they're clones, get them.
Guess I can try with my machine gun again.
Okay, Trigger attempts to basically turn it back. He's attempting to basically
grapple it out of my hand.
Yeah, he's basically attempting to grab your laser cutter and try to force it back on you, but it doesn't work at all. Mammy, what are you doing?
I guess I'll just try to do a spray and pray, and just see if I can get, the whole crew.
Okay,
including
so
me?
No, you're on the ground.
No.
No.
No,
Marlo's
I'm
on the
an
ground.
active.
Oh,
Marlo's on the ground.
okay. I'm trying to get this
And the
all in
other
my
person
head.
who has nothing to do with us is also there.
Hmm?
The guy who waved at us and made everybody turn around.
Cupcake.
That was Cupcake. It's just the three of them.
It was just the three of them?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
So are you and I standing side by side? Like, what is our
Okay, so
positioning?
So the positioning here would basically be, if you think
Triangular.
kind of, yeah. So if you're thinking about, basically you are closest to the door, let's just say that. If the fire was the B in the cubicle camp, then so Cupcake would have been on the south side of the B.
Okay.
Where now the other three people here are basically at the top of the B with Car in the middle.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's diamond is what it actually is, with Car at the center.
So who would I have the clearest shot of then?
You could so Marla is on the ground. She's been knocked to the ground. So she's at you can shoot at her, but she's at disadvantage.
She's not also a threat, like an active one.
Yeah. But I can't hit the other two.
Feedback?
You could hit, so you could shoot and attempt to hit Trigger, who Car is basically fighting with right now. You could also take a shot at Cupcake, but Cupcake is literally on the other side of Car.
Right.
So if you fuck it up, there's the potential that you're going to shoot Car.
If I go for Trigger, would that be advantage?
No.
But he's the only easiest target.
The only one who you have advantage on would be Marla.
Yeah, I'll try to hit Trigger.
Okay. Roll combat. Okay. Trigger gets to roll armor.
Fail.
Fuck.
Shit.
The one second, because I need to check how armor works with guns. I know how it works with basically blunt objects, but it's going to be a little different with.
No.
Combat. That can't possibly be true.
I don't know how in any world a plain old vac suit would deflect a bullet. Tear right through that shit.
Like, seriously, projectile.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would be roll damage and then subtract the roll, the other person's roll from the damage. So roll damage. If you roll less than an 18.
Where do I roll damage?
So for your gun.
Oh, that's right. Range 4d20. Okay, it just says 4d10, so I'm going to roll it over here.
Okay.
Oh, and my laser cutter is ranged for 1d100.
Okay. So no, because you rolled literally the same amount of the armor. Your bullets tear up the armor and damage it, but it doesn't actually penetrate anything on the body.
What kind of fucking vac suits are these?
Cupcake.
That's my turn.
Shit.
So Cupcake is opening fire on you, Car. So you need to roll armor.
Grab trigger and turn him over in front, use him
That's
as a
what I was
shield.
gonna say. I was gonna use. I was gonna, upon being like have gunfire opened on me, I would try and turn trigger as a human shield.
So, Cupcake with that SMG still screaming, you being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Even as he's opening fire on you, just rakes you with automatic weapons fire. You take 21 points of damage.
So like my health drops to
27.
27.
Not enough to cause panic. He didn't do half your health in one shot, but he almost did.
Close.
That was close. All right. So that is the end of that turn. So everybody now needs to roll speed. And this time, Marla is now also in the pool as well, because she's finally managed to get up off of her ass.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm a little slow, riddled with bullets.
I cannot.
72, 60. Trigger rolls. Speed. Okay, so trigger doesn't do dick. Cupcake also doesn't do dick. And Dr. Marla, if she gets to go first, I'm gonna laugh.
She gets
to go first.
Lord. No.
So the order here will be Marla, then the mommy, then Car, then Cupcake, then Trigger. So Marla, I don't even know what gear Marla has.
A lot now. It depends on where they're picking her up from, beginning or end.
Very true.
Picked up from the last time that she was brain scanned.
Who knows when that was?
She lunges at you from the ground with the stun baton. Car. So combat. Okay. Roll your armor.
God damn it. Fuck.
Okay. What is the stun baton? Stun baton is 1d10. So she hits you for another 4. Now I need you to make a body save. Okay, you are stunned next round.
You better like fire him up, babe.
Okay, so
does that mean that Car's like hit the ground? Is Car on the ground? When you mean stunned, he's let out. He's down.
Yeah.
The count.
Especially with the stun baton.
Did I say 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your health is down to 23 now.
I love it.
And you are stunned. Okay. Up to you, Mommy.
Light him up.
Yeah. That's all I can think to do is just spray them and see who I hit.
Okay, so are you so here is my question. Are you attempting to basically just do an actual spray, or are you attempting to concentrate your burst?
Well, I mean, I'm somewhat trying to aim, but making a quick motion of it.
You're doing a spray between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
So like starting from one going to the other.
Yeah.
And back and forth. Okay, so you've got like I guess like a 80, 70 degree angle of spray.
So, okay. So roll your combat.
I'll fail. We're dead. One night without Zach. Dead. We're dead. My gun jammed.
Your shots go horribly wide. So Car is stunned for this round. Cupcake. Still has his gut out. He's yelling at you now, Mammy, being like, what the fuck is going on? Even as he shoots. Luckily for you, his shots also just
It's
scatter.
at this point that I put my gun up and I'm like, okay, truce.
Trigger. If I can find Trigger. There are so many characters. Trigger, who has pulled his own laser cutter.
Oh no.
Goes after Car. So roll your armor.
I'm dead.
And what is the laser cutter? Laser cutter is
Yeah.
does 8 damage. So he slashes at you. You are bleeding everywhere at this point. You are starting to lose blood.
Wait, how does it not cauterize as a cut?
Because you've been shot also. Like, this is
Oh,
not the
yeah,
only...
sorry. Yes, forgot. Bleeding. Yes, thank you. Bullets. That's
So
how bullet works.
So you were laying there in severe amounts of pain. So, Mommy, what did you say you were going to do?
At this point, I'm just trying to get everybody to stop. So I'm like, truce. Like, we can talk. I'm sorry that my friend lunged and I was trying to back them up. Oh, I'm backing off. I'm backing off.
So they are not taking their guns off of you. And Cupcake is like, what the fuck are you doing? What is going on? Why would you attack us like that?
Because we're under the impression that you're clones.
He's like, what? He's like, what? He's like, we've been down here for weeks, stumbling around in the dark. He said,
Have you used a bioscanner on yourself?
He goes, why would we do that?
Try it. Fucking try it if I'm bleeding out on this floor.
Trigger looks at you and looks at you, Car, and is like, you need to shut your fucking mouth. Cupcake is like,
you can shut your fucking android mouth. You're already on the ship.
Trigger is like, he just kind of holds his hands up and he's like, what the fuck ever. Marla is like, why would she kind of like stands up, still brandishing the stun baton, and she's like, that doesn't make any sense. We've been down here in the deep for days. We've just managed to get our way out of here. We lost the transponder. We've been waiting for somebody to come back across so that we could either try to take one from them or get in touch with Arcady. She's like, why would you just attack us like that?
You
scan yourself.
You realize that your memories would be implanted. You would be absolute copies,
if you
even
really
into yourself.
Scan yourself. I'm yelling from the ground.
She's like, but when would that have happened?
We weren't here, but we came just from the
we
bell.
Got the radio.
We were with you. We left you resting. All I'm asking is let me use this bioscanner on you. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
She kind of looks at the other two, and Cupcake is like, he's like shaking his head. Trigger just looks pissed. Trigger just looks like he's like, fuck it. She kind of stumbles towards you a little bit, and she puts the stun baton towards you, and she says, I'm going to let you scan me. She says, if you do anything, she goes, I'm hitting you with it.
I put my gun on the ground by my feet.
Okay. So you scan Marla with the bioscanner.
Mm-hmm.
After a second, it beeps and comes back as human.
What about the others?
We would have definitely checked them as they came home. That's so, like paranoia, like with the paranoia and everything. Yeah, there's no way they were being put back on the ship without being checked.
So now so how exactly, so when that comes back as human, what do you say? What do you do?
I just very quickly try to speed up to each one of them and do a quick scan on both of the other two. Because maybe it wasn't a full replacement.
So you walk up to each of them with the bioscanner and scan them?
Yeah.
And it comes back as human.
Okay, now I've got a meta question.
Okay.
How could we have been replaced and then still played ourselves without in-game knowing?
Look at the smile on his face.
I'm not smiling. I am letting this play out.
I'm just confused to the rules on that. Like, how do you play your own clone? Okay.
Marla is...
At this point, I'm scanning myself now.
Comes back as human.
Am I able to radio Arcady from here?
You could, yes.
But
You have
I thought I had the radio.
You have radioed Arcady from the
Well, at this
keyboard
point,
campus.
I'm just in panic mode, and I have gone down. I'm leaning over car. Let's see. I think I have stim packs. Is that gonna do anything?
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think I do. It's not on my list.
No. No, you don't have stim packs.
Neither do I.
I thought our whole I thought our crew split some stuff up.
That was the other crew.
Okay.
So at this point, hold on. So are you still attempting to call Arcady?
Yeah, I've leaned over car. I'm fishing the radio out.
Okay. So what are you doing during all of this?
I'm gonna try and keep you from getting the radio a little bit, and I'm gonna be like, how did we say goodbye to you today? If you're human and the other ones are human, how are you human on both sides?
So you're still running off the assumption that we all scanned each other when we got back to the bell.
Yeah. Because, like, we ended before we actually got back to the ship. But I would think with having already had to cut off one person's head before, there would be a paranoia and protocol check activated.
If there wasn't before, there will be now. So you're attempting to resist giving mommy the radio to call Arcady.
Yeah.
The three of them are watching this kind of incredulously, and like Cupcake is like, just fucking take it from him. Like, he's half dead. Just fucking take it off.
I'm trying. It's like, look, there's one simple way to figure this out. Car, you let
Marla,
me radio Arcady really quickly, have him sneak in and get a quick bioscan, and then we'll figure out what the hell really is over there.
Marla leans over you, Car, and says, looks you dead in the face and says, I'll make you a trade. Give us the radio, and I can start helping you.
Come on, man. You don't want to bleed out. Not like this.
Fuck you. It's better to bleed out like this than to let any, like, clones back on the ship.
Well, you keep going like this, it'll
I'm
take
gonna hold
another
on
5
to the,
minutes.
I'm going to hold on to the radio, and I'm going to be like, Arcady, possible clones, possible clones, already passed through.
So
So
we
so
could have
your
done the
message-
exact same thing,
Right, but I'm not
but
going to
you
give
want to
them...
put him on panic.
Okay, so hold on. So Car, so you grab the radio and you message through. What exactly do you say? Do you basically? I'm guessing you're yelling this into the radio.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, sorry, wakey.
I saw
that. I'm going to be
Marla apparently
ASAP.
walked up behind you and touched that stun baton to your butt.
Mhm.
Wake now? Are you awake now?
Be like, emergency, check our crew is who they say they are.
At about this point, the three of them kind of look at one another, and Marla leans over you and says, I don't want to do this. This is for your own good. And she basically touches the stun baton to you. So, roll your armor.
What armor?
Swiss cheese.
All right. Let's see. God damn. So she tags you with that. That's enough to
Knock me out.
Yeah, you're basically out at this point. You have 8 health left.
No, I keep trying to do it, and
so they, at this point, take the radio away from
the corpse of Carr.
Carr. You're not a corpse yet.
Give it time.
Trigger looks at you, Mommy, and says on the thing, says, Trigger to Arcady, we need extraction. We need extraction from the visitor's dock. And after a couple seconds, you hear a, what do you mean you need extraction? Trigger says, Arcady, I'm not fucking around. Carr and Mommy attacked us. We've got a hurt person here. We need extraction now. Arcady responds and says, I am sorry. I will not be able to assist with this particular situation. Trigger continues trying to call back. And Arcady does not pick up.
Another meta question. If Arcady's so fucking concerned, why doesn't he just bioscan everybody before he picks some up?
I'm pretty sure he does, doesn't he?
I will give you a hint. You are not asking the right question.
Because it's not the bioscanner.
So the 3 of them are standing there. And at this point, they are attempting to rope you into the discussion now, Mommy. They're like, okay, so what are we going to do?
Yeah, it's a cyber diagnostic. That's what he scans everybody with.
He says, so they say, okay, so we've got a couple options here. He says, we can attempt to wait until another diver arrives. We rob them. We take the radio from them, and we attempt to recontact Arcady with a new radio and hope that we can get exfil that way. He says, we wander around on this goddamn death trap until we can either find a place to put this sack of meat, and thumbs at you, Car, until we
I
can
start
figure out
laughing if I can.
and
Just
get
giggling
that.
to myself.
Says we could put them down in the freezer, I guess. Says alternative. He says alternatively, he points and kind of thumbs at the escape pod bays. He says, alternatively, we take the escape pod. He says they're He says they're clean. There's food in there, water in there.
Not sounding much like yourself there, Cupcake.
Trigger looks at you and says, "Shut the fuck up! You shot on your friends."
My friends are home, and I'm dying keeping you away
Look,
from
I
them.
don't know who's who. All I can tell you is that yesterday, you three came back from your week-long adventure, passed the fuck out, you're recuperating back on the bell. We decided to come out and look for some things on our shopping list. We assumed, seeing the three of you back at the bunk, that three of you were not the human ones. So I'm not going to defend this, jumping on you from Car. I will say, fuck, I'm sorry. And all, I agree you've got the two plans. At this point, I'm so confused, I don't even know what to fucking do or think. It is going to be hard dragging this one around, though.
Marla says, well, then the obvious answer is in front of us. Is we get on the escape pods and we go that way.
Fucking go then.
Does anybody have a med kit at all? Like, I'm saying this out loud, knowing that, we've got the doctor here.
Doctor does.
Would there happen to be any kind of sedatives or pain medication in there?
She says, I have she says, I have a stim pack, I've got pain pills, I've got an automed, I've got a med scanner.
I want to just knock him the fuck out. Believe me, it will be easier this way.
She
fucking stay away from me with that shit. I'd rather die awake than go under.
You want to stay? Do you seriously want to stay? Because at this point, you're annoying me enough.
Fuck you. I've come through. I killed Cupcake once before. I ain't going on those goddamn escape pods. You guys can go ahead and check, but I would
actually,
rather die on
wasn't
this
that
shit than
wasn't
leave
that
these
Doctor
motherfuckers
Song?
back.
Wasn't that Doctor Song actually? Let's give credit where credit's due. Yeah, Dr. Song jumped on him with that laser cutter, cut his head off.
Cupcake is like, can we stop talking about how happy you were to kill me? Like, that's fucked up.
I didn't say I was happy. I wasn't there, but I mean, if this one wants to stay, I'm ready to jump ship. Shit.
You leave that radio with me then.
The one that he won't answer anymore because you blew up the whole thing? Sure.
God damn, Emmy. I didn't realize you were this dumb.
Trigger says, nah, we're not leaving anybody behind.
Fuck you. You take your hands off me.
So I am looking through these things, pain pills. There is actually nothing that would knock you out. So, Marla looks at you, Mommy, and says, "Look," says, "the escape pods are clean. Says we can get out. The chances that we're going to get shot down by the blockade are minimal." Said, "Worst that happens is car bleeds out in at least a place that's more sterile than this place." Said,
Why are you so obsessed with those escape pods all of a sudden, huh?
Cupcake looks at you and says, "Because we don't want to drag your bloody corpse all over this goddamn facility."
So fucking leave me alone.
The three of them
I'm not going anywhere with you copies.
The three of them all look at you, Mommy, and say, "Not like he's going to be able to fight." So said, so here, this is our option. Says, "I guess we're getting on the escape pods."
You bring up a point, though, about being shot down by the blockade. What makes you so sure they won't?
Trigger thumbs at them and goes, "They're small. This is the stuff that's usually on those ships. Yeah, it's designed for bigger stuff. It's designed for cargo ships, for corvettes, for fighters. It's not for escape pods."
This is the same shit that Copy Cupcake was saying the first time round when they took him out. Some fucked up obsession with the creepiest, cleanest fucking escape pods in this hellhole.
Really? Why do you want to get in there so bad?
Trigger's like, "I give two shits. I was hoping that we were going to exfil with Arcady's help, but somebody fucked that up for us. So our options are either to get out of here or either here."
Yeah, that somebody is you, Copy. There's already one of you there. Can't be two.
Says, "Or we wander around here until we find somewhere else, some other way to get out of here. And we can't drag this asshole with us." Marla looks at you, Mommy, and says,
"Why hasn't she offered me a stim pack? Why hasn't she offered me a med kit? Like, she has this shit on her if this is our Marla."
She looks at you, Mommy, and she goes, what are your thoughts? What are we doing?"
I want to hear what Carr thinks. I mean, if Carr's so convinced and doesn't want to go on the pods and obviously realizes you're in no shape to walk yourself out of here, what's your great plan?
You're talking to me? Well, fucking Marla hasn't even hit me with a stim pack yet, and apparently she's supposed to have it.
At one point, I had asked about anything to knock you out, and you said I won't take
Knockout is
anything.
not a stim pack. Stim pack is not a knockout.
Right, but what you said was I don't want anything from you. So I guess we just assumed you meant like anything from them.
Also, Marla doesn't have any stim packs. Why she doesn't have stim packs, I don't know. I don't remember. Did you guys use them last time?
We did, but not all of them. There's no way we could have, because it's like a pack of like 12. Dr. Marla definitely has stim packs. There's 10 next to her under her equipment. The actual Dr. Marla. She would also have a foam gun. We'll be like, well then.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Marla also should have a cybernetic scanner. Why don't you try that one on yourself instead of the med scanner?
Dr. Marla looks at you and says, the only scanner that I have is a med scanner."
This is not Dr. Marla. You guys don't have your like equipment. You don't remember anything. You don't have the fucking radio, and you have no idea.
Dr. Marla pulls out her med scanner and points it at herself and tags her, and when shows it to you and says human, she looks at you,
Fucking, where's
mommy.
your cybernetic scanner, Marla?
She looks at you, mommy, and she says, "It's the exact same model as yours," and holds it up, and it is.
I think
Med
what
scanner.
Carr is so ineloquently saying is that maybe these new, these cybernetics are evolving all the time. Maybe they found a way to read as human unless otherwise scanned. I think that's what Carr is trying to get at. And the Marla that came back.
Cupcake kind of holds his hands up and he goes, "That's kind of convenient, though, isn't it?"
Hey, I didn't say I agreed.
He's just like, so the only way for us to verify that we are who we are is with a piece of equipment that we don't have. He goes, "That seems like a pretty obvious way to."
Why don't you have your equipment? If you came from the ship, you'd have your fucking equipment. Where'd you lose it? If you remember, if you've been here for fucking days, where'd you lose your shit?
He's like, "I never had one. I don't know what you're talking
Bullshit.
about."
You come. Bullshit. There's equipment in this group that's supposed to be here that's not here. I don't buy your shit. It's too convenient. Just fucking let me die.
Trigger.
You're not even going to give me a stim pack. Just let me die.
At that point, Trigger pulls his gun and he goes, "Oh, I'm thinking about it."
Do I still have the laser cutter in my hand?
You do. I would say that any action given as weak as you are would be done at disadvantage.
Right, but like,
it's not to say that it's going to be an automatic fail, but it's going to be, if you're going to attempt to attack with it, you're basically attacking from being literally prone on the ground.
Yeah, so like I'm on the ground and I've got it in my hand. Do I see ankles?
Sure.
You still have to beat his armor roll though, and you're rolling at disadvantage.
I mean, you could if you want to try it.
I'm not saying
totally
like
do that.
don't make
That's
that.
not...
I just wanted to bring up the point.
Do I recognize who's closest to me right now?
I mean, yes, you could. It is basically the four of them are standing more or less over you. So,
and then mommy isn't.
I mean,
I'm
mommy's included in the group. Yeah.
Okay, so who are the two on my right hand side?
Actually, I didn't think that they were standing like directly over you. I was assuming they were standing like kind of at your feet. So the two closest would be,
let's say, on the right of my body.
Would be let's say Trigger and Mommy.
Oh, shit, sorry, mommy. I'm gonna try and like sweep at Trigger's feet with my wrist, just with like a flick. And if I catch mommy, I don't care at this point.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm freaking because like Trigger's like Car's like freaking out. He's like, I'm not gonna let fucking copies back on our shit.
Yep, totally understand. I absolutely understand. That is well within character. Okay, so roll your combat roll at disadvantage. Okay, so you very narrowly miss. The laser kind of skirts off. Everybody kind of dances back. It's like, what the fuck? At this point, Trigger's like, "No, I'm done."
Lights me up.
And lights you up. Unless they attempt to shoot you and manages to. So Trigger shoots all around you, but does not in fact actually hit you.
Pussy.
There's a
Fucking
slightly
pussy.
there's a slightly embarrassing moment as the other two kind of look at him like, seriously, you can't hit somebody who's literally laying there. But he looks at you and he's like, next time you're gonna eat it. Marla looks at you. Marla looks at you, mommy, and goes, "What are we doing?" Says this points at them and says, this situation is obviously escalating now. Says he's going to get killed if he manages to do something stupid. Says one of us is going to get severely maimed or killed.
I'm at the point of taking my ass back to the visitor's dock and camping out until Arcady makes his next drop off. That's where I'm at. If we can get Car there, I hate to leave a man behind, but he kind of sounds like he has a death wish, so I'm not sure he wants to be moved.
So Trigger goes, all right, cool. Then here's what we're gonna do. So the three of us will head out. We will head north. We will hit the visitor's dock, and I guess we will wait and attempt to mug the next group of divers that comes in. Is that what we're assuming? Or are we going to just kill this asshole and take the radio and attempt to convince Arcady that this dude lost his fucking mind?
Little from column A, little from column B. Car at this point, I'm sure that between the four of us, we can wrestle the radio away without permanently damaging him anymore. Take the radio, see how far we can drag this corpse, wannabe corpse, toward visitor's dock. All the while trying to get Arcady on the radio.
So they... Cupcake kind of crosses his arms and says, hear me out. Car wants us to leave him. Fine, fuck him. Says, cubicle camp is mostly safe. Says, worst case scenario, other divers come up here and find him, right? Says, best case scenario, after we get back to the bell, we can do a turnaround. The team can come back out here immediately with medical supplies and do something that could try to help him if we can get there back soon enough.
What do you want to do, Car? You're a grown-ass man.
I bring the radio to my lips and I say, all men lost.
No. And at that point, I try to swipe the radio.
Okay, at that point, Trigger's definitely... you've definitely pissed Trigger off enough that he's going to attempt to kill you again.
Yeah. Another armor roll, which will also, again, not work. And I will be a corpse.
I was going to say, Trigger has once again miss.
Yes.
Trigger once again misses. I mean, it's your character. This makes at least some amount of sense.
Yeah, it does.
At this point, Cupcake is just openly laughing at him. It's just like, Jesus Christ. This is like, put the fucking gun down before you kill yourself.
Let's just
fucking stormtrooper.
Wrestle it off of him. Jesus.
Fucking stormtrooper, and I'm gonna try and swipe again with the laser cutter. I'm just fighting until I go down.
Okay.
I'm a rabid raccoon in a corner at this point.
Okay. Roll again at disadvantage.
Combat.
I'm guessing at this point I would have jumped out of the way after the last swipe.
Yeah, when you go to swipe again, at this point now, Dr. Marlowe walks over with the stun gun and is like, no, you need to not be here for this right now. And roll a 1d10. Hits you for another 1. You are stunned.
I'm going to drop down to a 7.
So at this point, now that you are stunned, they take the radio away. But no amount of screaming into it by Trigger is raising Arcady. So the 3, Mommy, they look at you and they say, all right, what are we doing here? Are we going to the visitor's dock? Are we heading back into the guts of the place and trying to find another way to exfil out? What are we doing?
Should I have a grenade?
Aren't they fun? Tick, 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 boo. I love how in reality it's like impossible to take the pin out of a grenade with your mouth if you don't want to break your fucking teeth.
Yeah, I saw I saw a YouTube video where they used a fake skull to be like, in the event that you tried to grab that pin and pulled it with your teeth, and
it's gonna shatter all your molars.
The front 3 teeth just came right out, and they said, yeah, you can't do that.
It's like in there twisted in order so it doesn't fall out easily. But you know, every action movie. Side note, please tell me you guys have seen Star Trek's Lower Decks.
I watch all things.
You have to watch Star Trek Lower Decks. It is the animated series. So it happens right after The Next Generation. Riker and Deanna Troi make appearances. They so good.
So what are you doing, Mommy?
Yeah, Mommy, what you doing? What should we do, Mommy?
I say we cut through Checkpoint Bravo into the cafeteria.
They go, okay. And then where are we headed from there?
Up through to reception.
They kind of look at one another and they're like, why would we go through Bravo to reception? Why wouldn't we just walk right up the hall?
Well, last time I came through, I heard I heard what sounded to be like a handful of androids marching around in that area. You guys are so badass. You haven't taken out Bravo yet?
No, we always go through Alpha. We don't want to deal with the fucking machine gun toting android at Bravo. They all kind of look at you like you're dumb. They're like, okay, so we're headed. So you want to take us back to reception? I guess we're just heading to visitor's dock then, or are we headed to trying to go find something else? Something else.
Yeah, I say we hit up visitor's dock.
Okay. So at this point, Car, I need you to make a roll. I need you to make a body save.
Oh, damn.
So
Skin of my teeth, that one.
at this point, the car is on board the Deep. Last seen alive. Mommy, you head to the visitor's dock. So, as far as this game world is concerned, both the characters of Mommy is considered to be unreachable at this point,
Lost.
and Car is considered to be MIA, which means that for next session,
New crew.
neither one of them will be playable. That does not mean that they are dead or that they are unfindable, but it does mean that you will not have access to their gear, their credits, or their characters. And on this particularly harrowing note, this session, though certainly not this story, comes to an end. It was only a matter.
Man.
It was only a matter of time before
You
somebody
knew we
did
were
it.
doing too good. We were doing too good. He was like, y'all are dragging this out. Somebody's got to die tonight. Crazy, crazy. What are we thinking, chat? Oh, boy.
That was not how I was expecting this to play.
Not at all.
Holy crap, the dice were not with us tonight.
Nope.
Only one roll came for me, and it was the last fucking one, and I don't know if that's better or worse.
Oh, man.
I feel like it would have been better if he just died right there.
Oh, boy.
No XP has been awarded for this.
No XP.
All the intrigue, all the action, all the drama.
I'm gonna walk out there and be like, yeah, so, and he's just gonna look and be like, that's what you get for cutting my head off. Well.
That was definitely the second time that we've had a duo with you two that has had an intense moment.
We're spicy.
Quick to act.
Yeah, I noticed. I was like, oh, fuck diplomacy. Here we go. We got a rabid raccoon on crack. It's just lunging at everything. Oh, boy. Well, I want to thank these two for being here with me tonight. My Knox over here, my Martha over here. We've had a fantastic time entertaining you. Again, I am planning a one-shot extended role-playing session on August 20th. If you think you might be interested, please contact me on my Discord or my many other social medias. And we're going to go. So, I know. I'm like, I need to decompress.
We're going to go.
Oh, my God.
Mommy and Car are
Yeah.
not going.
Not going anywhere. Stuck on the deep. All right. Well, everybody stick around for a raid, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Jackbox from the couch. Have a great night, everybody, and talk to you later.
See you all on Monday for Vampire.